Well, Nicholas, one of the things we started last week was the new invention. And I thought one of the ways might be helpful with a video lesson would be to try to me play one part and you play the other so you can kind of see how it's fitting together. I hope you've done some eye work, as in looking through the sections and seeing where you can find patterns, where things are the same, where they're different. And you know, we talked about how this is one of the characteristics of this piece, where you've got those kinds of things that parallel each other in both hands, which is kind of a little different than some of the other inventions. Not that you've studied that many of them, but normally there's not that much that parallels like that. So I realize that you've only had a week and you haven't been feeling well, so I'm gonna do this. I think that we talked about just doing the first section, like ending at the cadence that comes to the end in measure 12. So I thought what I would do is I will play the right hand by itself till I get to that spot, and then I will go through and play the left hand so that you could practice playing the right hand with the left hand, just so you can start to get some of that gelling together. And then if that does, and you wanted to go ahead and try the next section that would start at measure 13, then what you would do is just look for the next cadence, which I don't know exactly where that would be, but you could find a good stopping point. I'm thinking that where the hands switch back and forth, they're like measure 26 might be a good place to divide a section. But anyway, so let's start with, I will play the right hand, and then I want you to try to play the left hand, and again I'm going to stop at that cadence that ends in C major there in measure 12, okay? And we're going to go about like this. The B natural start in measure 7, so he's already by that point making us feel we're in the dominant, which is C major. He gives you that one B flat that pops in measure 8, but the rest are natural, so kind of keeps you guessing until he gets to that cadential spot there. Alright, and then if you want to go back and practice that, just rewind it. And then now what I'm going to do to get you into the second section, or second, you playing along with my left hand, is I'm going to play those first couple of right hand beats, and then I'm going to, on the and of 2 or and of 1 in that second measure, I'm going to just take over the left hand, and you can start on your, keep going on your own on the right hand. So we'll play together at the beginning, so I'll count us in. So 1 and 2 and play and rest. Fingering is hugely important. Did you notice you got those patterns and that whole 1/4 thing? You do it in both hands, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So try to make sure that you're using the correct fingerings. This goes vivace when you finally get it all together. Not that we would totally reach vivace, but that would be our goal. So to make that happen, you're going to have to stay on top of those keys, and you're going to have to work on making sure you've got the right fingerings. So there you have the invention number 8. Enjoy.